What's going on YouTube? How are we doing? Hope you've all had an incredible week. So today's video, I'm just going to give a little bit of a different flavour of getting started in smart money trading. I figure there isn't much out there about actually getting started in it, and a lot of you probably come to it with false expectations, and I just figured, you know what, we'll do a little bit of a kind of on the paper, couple Sharpies, go through some stuff. This is not financial advice in any way, shape or form, simply giving you my views and my take on my journey, which is coming up to over 5 years now, in the trading space in general, smart money for the last 18 months, a little bit longer, and just want to kind of give you guys, as always with this channel, the free education, the free advice that I can, that hopefully will help one of you, or more of you, hopefully, kind of start that journey, and get you thinking on what is it that I actually want from this. So hopefully you can see this. It's a little bit creased because the kids had it folded up in half. But essentially, you know, how I want to get started is everybody's expectation, right? So if we start with the expectation front, help if I get the lid off the pen. If we start with expectations, right? So if we have expectations, right? Allow my writing. Man did not qualify school with good handwriting. I don't really write much anymore. Expectations, right? This is something that most people come into trading with, and a lot of you are probably getting into trading due to the fact that you think I am going to be a millionaire. So we can have millionaire, we can have Lambo, we can have Rolexs, we can have ace of spades, in the club, popping bottles, right? All these things are essentially a part of your expectations, right? And the problem is, this is a real bad mindset to come into the trade industry with. And unfortunately, there are a lot of gurus out there that, of course, are going to flaunt, I'm a millionaire, I got a Lambo, I wear a Rolex, I pop bottles in the club, ace of spades, and I'll show you the receipt, right? You have to ask yourself, is that what you want? Because if it is, it's the wrong way of coming in. Because if you're only focused on money and money values and earning money only, you are going to struggle. You're going to have so many barriers, so many mindset problems that are going to come in throughout this process, right? So a lot of people as well associate trading with, you know, the random fuckboys of FX, which usually are these people, right? So we're going to write fuck boys, right? That is these people here. Now, again, I'm not digging anyone out. If being a millionaire or having a Lambo or a Rolex or ace of spades is part of what you want, that's fine. Like, if that is your materialistic goal, if that's what you want, I'm not digging that out. But don't believe that trading is this. Isn't this, right? That's not what we're looking for in trading. Now, of course, I'd be lying if I said to you that I don't trade for money. I do. I want to earn money. And you might go, whoa, that's hypocritical, big man. You just said don't trade for money. Let me explain. The difference for me is when I first got into it, I was this guy. This was me. I wanted to be this dude, yeah? So I wanted to be, by the sounds of it, a fuckboy, which doesn't sound great, right? But as I kind of got on the journey and realised that all of these people are not actually trading, what they're doing is they're selling signals, or they're getting you to sign up to a brokerage with an IBM, and then from that they are essentially making money. So all these people make money from you, and this can be if you lose a trade and they have an IBM with a broker, you naturally are going to make them money. Whether their trade they send you wins or loses, they make money, right? And that essentially for me is what's given the industry a very bad name, because people associate trading in that persona. That's what it is, more of a business perspective, right? So what we want to look at, right, is this is essentially expectations. This is slide 1, right? I'm going to put this bad boy over here, right? And then I'm going to do another one. And what I want to do is and this is a question you should all be asking yourself, and I didn't at the beginning. Let's draw a dodgy line. Right. Is trading a hobby or is trading a business? Or where do you come on this spectrum, right? You don't have to obviously be bang on business straight away, and you might want to be on a hobby straight away. And you know what? The thing is, right, if you want to be a hobby, it's completely fine. Okay, if you want to be in a essentially a relationship with trading, right? And this is where we're going to go onto this bit. So you also have relationship with trading. Now I know some of you man out there got commitment issues and all that jazz, yeah. So this might be like where you all run off. But listen, just hear me out, yeah. There's different choices with relationship with trading, and essentially it will portray into general life, right? Relationship with trading. Is it casual? Is it serious? I.e., yo, I want to freaking get married and have kids. Is it a lot of you man them? Is it friends with benefits? What level of the spectrum would you say that you are? So if we put here marriage, right? Because you need to identify early on what it is that you kind of want to do in trading. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying when you first come into it, you've got to be like, I want to be a business, right? But you kind of have to identify, do I want to have this as a hobby? Is it for fun? So a hobby essentially is fun, potential side hustle, fine. Do I want to have a business? 5-year plan, money, earner, full-time job, etc., right? Or do you want to be somewhere in the middle, which we've got friends with benefits, right? Because the thing is, right, in all relationships, right, if it's a casual relationship, yeah, 9 times out of 10, you're not putting your all into it, okay? You're probably giving it a 5, 6 out of 10, yeah? You've got another thing on the go, you're doing something else, which may I add is completely fine in trading if that's what you want to do. So, not all attention. Okay, so you could say, comes back to it's the hobby, you do it for a bit of fun, make a little bit of side money, spend that. You might have a job that you enjoy, you don't want to take it full time. Then you've got friends with benefits, right? This is just like a quick, yo, are you free? I'm interested in hooking up. So you come to it and you hook up, right? So you're hooking up with trading. And then serious is like, yo, babes, I want to do more than Netflix and chill. I want to look into like marriage and kids, and most people are run off, right? But this is how you have to look at it: is it serious? Is trading serious to you? Because if it is, then you've got hookup becomes serious. Oh, you can tell I don't write a lot. Hookups become serious, which can become a business, right? So if we're looking at it like this, I'll ask you a question, and you might not know, but where would you say you are with this? Are you a hobby? Are you a hookup? Are you a business? Are you in the middle? It's okay to be here, or you could be here. I would say, for me, I am here, right? I actually treat trading as my business. It's my income. I also enjoy it, so I do get the hobby aspect of fun, but overall, I treat it like a business. So I have a plan. I have a way of, generating income from trading, and it is my sole income. I say my sole income. It's my main income. Obviously, I have other incomes now, but at the beginning, it was just simply my sole income. So this is a really good thing to do, because what you can do, and you can do it a lot more detailed than I am. I'm trying to also do it into a video, so it's not too boring. I'm trying not to lose anyone. Apologies if I'm waffling. But a lot of you that know me know I like a waffle, but I do spit out some facts. So when we're looking at it like this, right, hobby could just be, maybe you look into trading a couple of times a week. Maybe you trade a couple of times a month. You're playing around with small figures, small money, whatever. When it comes to business, you might be looking at, right, do I want to get funded? So do I want to get a funded account? Okay, what does that lead to me? Funded equals larger capital, right? So a funded account can lead you to larger capital. So these are all the things you need to be thinking of, right? But you also need to understand, right, that all of these things here that we've just spoken about, they all play their own part and their own role in trading. You can decide whether you want to be, wherever you want to be in this spectrum, right? Now, I know some of you are listening and you're probably like, but trading's per trading to get rich quick and I want to make a load of money. And I'm not saying you can't, because there is no ceiling in trading. What I mean by that is there's no cap. Like, you can make as much as you want in trading, but you have to understand it will come in different levels. It's not going to just come in week 1, week 2, right? And that's where consistency, geez, my writing sucks. That's where consistency comes in, right? Because you need to be consistent to achieve that no ceiling in trading. But this then can portray to more a business aspect rather than the hobby aspect, okay? Because for the hobby, like I say, it could be just fun. You know, let's say, for example, your hobbies are, I don't know, go to the gym. It might be your release. You might be looking to get a perfect body. It might just be your time to kind of just wind down. You might be into playing football, video games. They're your hobbies, right? Your business may be like, I don't know, I'm an electrician and I've been studying to get an MVQ level 3 and and get into my own business or work for a firm or whatever, right? But you'd be putting more time into the electrician than you would being into the gym, right? That's what I'm trying to get at. So if we then look at this in an aspect of our relationship, you need to identify where your relationship is. Are you casual, friends with benefits, serious, marriage, in the middle somewhere? Identify where you want to take it. Because the reason I ask this now is because this is then what portrays the next steps. Because if you know that, you know what, I'm a business, then you're going to give a lot more time to planning the business out, just like you would if you'd started any other startup business, than you are if you're like, it's just a hobby. Because let's face it, we don't get to do our hobbies for a long period of time. And a lot of the time, what you have to remember is when something's fun, i.e. a hobby, if you convert that into, I've not really got much room to draw an arrow, but I'm going to draw one up here. If you convert that into money, i.e. need to earn from it, sometimes it takes the joy away from actually the hobby, if you like. And that's something I've experienced. As I progressed, I realized that the fun in it kind of then become a bit stressful because I was like, well, I need to earn from this now. I'd left my job. I'd started doing it full time. I've got kids, family, bills to pay. And I was like, damn, this hobby's now stress. And this is why I ask, because you have to learn when that becomes that. How do I stop that from becoming something I don't like anymore? So when we've identified this, right, we then can go on to this. Put this one down here. Right, and then from this one, you need to understand that you need to put the correct systems in place. So if we put systems, right, and then from this we can expand into, sounds like he's back at school, you know. From this we can expand into different things. So simple thing, right, is let's say this will be for someone that is ready to do business. So you're like, yo, big man, I want to do business. I really want to get into it, right? Now, the first thing to understand, getting started, if we go back to the title of the video, right, is you need an education. Okay? That's in any business, right? Because what we have to remember, right, this education, if we spam this off, if you want to be a doctor, you need an education. If you want to be a lawyer, you need an education. If you come off of that and you want to be a Sparky, you need an education. If you want to be a computer programmer, you need an education, right? There's don't get me wrong, some of this stuff, maybe this, you might self-teach, but you need qualifications, you need MVQs, you need diplomas, you need university, whatever you need. You're going to need these things to achieve this education, right? It's the same in trading. When you start thinking of trading as a business, right, and not just a get-rich-quick scheme or a side hustle, don't be wrong, I know people that have come in, flipped loads of money, took the Nan's 50 quid to 10k, took that to 100k, whatever, high risk, probably not sustainable long term, no longevity. They've rinsed it up and they've gone and started a business doing something else. For me personally, that's not what it's about. If that's a bit of you, again, that's completely fine. And this is where you need to make that decision because everybody's different, right? So if I put up here, everyone is different, right? So everybody's different. You're gonna have many people in this industry that you may know or that you may make friends with. Some of my closest friends are from this industry that might have a different path to you. They might want to do something completely different. You might want to do something else. You have to be okay with that. In this industry, there's a lot of bullshit. There's a lot of willy waving. There's a lot of spinning your dicks, swinging on your heads, doing whatever. The truth of the matter is, I don't give a fuck about that shit anymore. Used to, and I used to let it suck me in. Don't let it suck you in. Don't compete to try and be better than someone else. Focus on your journey, because when you break your journey down, what you actually want as a person is far easier to achieve than what somebody else is portraying and than what you're seeing on social media, right? So focus on yourself, okay? If we go back to education, find a good education platform. What would you do if you were looking for any of these things? You would look for reviews, college, uni, online, whatever it is, right? There's a lot of people in the trade industry teaching, being mentors. I'll be honest with you right now, there's a lot of shitheads that do it, and there's a lot of amazing people that do it. You got to try and sift through the shit. I've been there. I've sifted through plenty of shit. I've got to a point now where I'm fortunate enough to be able to teach other people, more of an advanced level at the moment. But I've sifted through a lot of crap, and like I said, there's a lot of great communities out there that can help you get started, right? Once you've got started, a lot of it can come from what you see, and that's what happened to me. I got started, and then I started to actually identify things that made more sense in my head, and then I was like, yo, I need to kind of make up how I see it. And that's what trading can be. But you do need to begin with that education. There's a lot online. My YouTube channel's got a hell of a lot of stuff. There's many others that have a lot. I'm going to keep delivering bits and bits. This is a very validated part of this. A lot of you have probably switched off. I hope you haven't. I hope you're still here. But if you have, shame, because there's a lot of value in this. And these are the things that probably are holding you back, but you just don't realize it. You're just chasing technicals. So once you've done that, obviously you get, a mentor, or you get education, right? Then we've got the process of how long do you give something, right? And then we can branch off this. So if it's a hobby, you're probably only going to give it, 10 hours a week, let's say, right? If it's a business, you're going to probably give it 5 hours plus a day, right? So this is where a hobby is probably not going to get you to the point of a scaled business in trading, because 10 hours, I'll be honest, 10 hours a week is not enough. Like, it isn't. If you work full-time jobs and stuff, what I would say is transition into it through a hobby, and then slowly increase it with time in the evenings, on weekends. You can certainly do more than 10 hours a week, right? You're going to need to, because it is a skill. And I think everybody forgets that, is trading is a skill, right? And it takes time. All of these up here, these educations that we've spoken about, doctors, lawyers, whatever, right, take years. You don't see doctors bowling into a hospital after year 1 of med school who want to be heart surgeons doing heart surgery. Like, it doesn't happen, right? So why is it okay for you to come into $1 trillion market and trade it and think, you're going to win? You might get a little bit of luck, but 9 times out of 10, you're going to get humbled. It's going to hurt, right? So what I would say is eliminate that expectation of this will be done in 5 months, this will be done in 6 months. I've been there. I left my job. I was at jobs and I was like, I'll be a millionaire soon. I had all that. I've been there. I'm trying to really speed the process up for you. Come into it with no expectation, right? And just come into it making that decision on the previous slides that we spoke about: hobby, business, casual relationship, friends with benefits, or overall a full-on business. Create a business plan. What are you going to do? So here, when we've got how long do you give something, I've been going 5 years, and I would only say the last year is where I truly found some kind of consistency that I was actually like, yo, I'm making money. The first 4 years was, don't get me wrong, I wasn't in these concepts. I was very much back in the old stuff, and I didn't have the mindset, the discipline, and people trade that way still, the whole Fibonacci trendline stuff, and it works for them. And again, this goes back to everybody's different, right? Everyone is different. Some will trade fibs, EMAs, and make dough. Didn't work for me. I'll trade supply and demand and structure, and I'll make great consistent money. This person over here won't, because they're like, well, I trade like this, and that's fine. That's okay. Stop looking at others. Real big advice, honestly. You need people in this industry to obviously be friends with and whatnot, but when it comes to trading, it's a soul sport. And if you're focused on someone else, someone might progress a lot faster than you. I've had the experience over the last year and a bit of meeting so many traders coming up and meeting so many different people. And a lot of people struggle with, oh, my mate came here, he's been here 2 months and he's already funded and smashing it, I'm not. Why did I do? And there's a number of factors. He might be a faster learner. He might have had a background on it. He might be putting more time in than you. Naturally, some people pick it up quicker, just like riding a bike, just like swimming. We all kind of have our own strengths and weaknesses, and we will all pick things up a little bit quicker and faster than each other. That's all right. Like, you got to remember that. Yes, don't let that affect you. So when we've got the 5 hours a day and we've got the hobby and we've got 10 hours, right? If we're putting in 5 hours a day, that can be back testing. That can be case studying. Right, that can be demo trading. Try not to write on my white desk with this Sharpie, because if I do, I'm done for. I'm alright. Whereas this one, don't be wrong, you can certainly do these things, but you might not be giving it as much time. So this is why you need to identify. I know people that trade as a hobby and still make good money. They've managed to fit it in with their other business. They've managed to fit it in with their other job that they have. They've managed to find a way for it to work. And that's what it's about, is find a way that suits you. Because this is what's so important, is you've got to find how can you make it work for you, and what is that way. Is it trading a higher time frame, using limits on 15-minute levels while I'm at work, or doing my analysis in the morning? Is it doing my analysis in the afternoon on my lunch break? Is it trading only one session? If you're blessed from working from home, maybe you could trade London in the morning, catch up with your work. If not, maybe you could do all your work in the morning and trade New York. If you're a different part of the world where the time zone doesn't fit, maybe you could trade Asia. Like, these are all the different things you need to be thinking of, not just the typical process, right, of a new trader, especially in this industry. You pay a subscription, you join the community, you go in a live analysis chat, you get absolutely spanked, you say it's a scam, you find something else, and you just keep going. And eventually you get to a point where you're like, I've had enough, this is not good for me, I can't do this anymore, and you give up. Please trust me, don't give up on it. You've just got to have the right system in place. And what we're doing here is we're kind of building a system, we're kind of building a plan that hopefully you can take bits from, create your own kind of visual plan, and or write it down or whatever, and go, actually, yeah, that Don on YouTube, he's got it right there. There might be one thing here that reflects with you, there might be nothing. There's going to be something though, I'm telling you, because all these things and these exercises that I've done, although I'm doing it very rough, they've helped me massively. So find a way that suits you is important, right? You really need to look into that. Then you've got the classic system of, okay, so I've been backtesting, so you've got your education, you've been backtesting, you've been putting in the hours, you're still not getting anywhere, or you're struggling, right? You need to identify is like a big one for me. There's two big ones coming up here. A big one for me here with that was I wasn't being truthful. So backtesting. Wow, I spelled that so wrong. Backtesting. Backtesting, essentially, right, is you can become a professional backtester or you can become a professional trader. And I've always said that to many people. I was this at one point. So I was a professional backtester. Go on a chart, no emotion, no FOMO, nothing's at risk. And you can just click buttons, play price along. And before you know it, you're like, oh, I've made 4 million up, chilling. Go downstairs, babe, millionaire tomorrow. Go on the live market, get your ass spanked, babe, we're broke. Gonna have to start OnlyFans, right? That's usually how it ends up going because you've created an expectation from backtesting. What I would say, right, is backtesting is the beginning. From backtesting, you can create an edge, right? From creating an edge, you can take edge to live market. Now, you're all probably going, whoa, big man, what do you mean? I've only just backtested it, right? Listen, take in your edge that you've created from case studying, from backtesting. My advice would be 50 case studies on one pair with the same setups. Get serious data on it, right? You can go back on fairly far on TradingView. If it's the 1 minute, you get about 6 weeks. But at the moment, you don't have to be on the 1 minute. You can still be very profitable from the 15 minute, right? Take edge to live market. From that, 100 quid, right, into a broker. None of this IBM shit, yeah, just find a good broker. IC Markets, Fusion, they've got low spreads, raw ECN accounts. I think they can be used everywhere, apart from you guys in the US, which are really unfortunate with brokers. I don't actually know which. A lot of them just tend to end up using the prop funds. I think you can find ways around it, but I don't know how, so I'm not going to say. £100 into a broker, right? Risk 0.01 and just trade. Yeah? Take all trades that fit this edge. So, take all. How does it perform? Because, right, if you're stuck on this, oh, my data's great, but when I go live, it doesn't work. There's so many factors. There's emotions. There's FOMO. There's actually money on the line. There's patience. This is a hench one. Like, patience is huge. Emotions, huge. FOMO, if you're a part of a community and you see everyone getting on trades and you're not, huge. It's something that's going to take you time to actually understand and master, that doesn't matter what other people are doing, right? But if you take your edge, right, and you test it live, and you actually get a decent strike, let's say 50% and above on your edge, right? You could, in theory, go into the markets with an edge and go, right, you see that 0.01? I'm going to increase that risk now to 1% or 0.5% or 0.25%, whatever you feel comfortable with. See if it's the same. If it's different, look at it, write your emotions down, keep a journal, right? For me, journaling, how I feel in the moment is massive. I actually do it on my phone now on Apple Notes. I just get my notes up and I'll go, oh, so I took a trade, and I'm like, you know what? You did silly things in that trade. You closed it early, or you took partials early, or you didn't execute it, you hesitated. Why? And then I write it out. And then at the end of the week, I go over it. There's a lot to trading, a lot more than people think. I think people think trading is just like, oh, I watched a course, I'm a millionaire, bottles in the club, whipping in the Lambo, Rolex on, it's actually an Apple Watch. And that's it. And that is wrong, because that isn't in any way, shape or form what it should be. So my advice there would be, like, cut the bullshit and just really dial it back. Okay. Once you've got the edge nailed and you've got this and you've got an edge, don't change anything. So I'm running out of space. I don't even know if this camera can see you anymore, but don't change edge. There's a real thing in this smart money world of shiny object syndrome, right? Someone will wave a bottle at hashtag not an ad. Someone will wave this, right, and go, oh, look, shiny object. Say you got this at the moment, and then someone waves this, and you're like, oh, mate, I need that, right? Not an ad. I just generally drink it. What you'll do is you'll go, oh, I need that. So this edge I've got that makes me 5%, 10% a month consistently, nah, he's doing 400%, I'm going there. And then all of a sudden, all this work that we've just put in is in the trash, because you've got to make a whole new plan, essentially, and you've got to go through all new patience, all new emotions, all new FOMO. You're starting to focus on somebody else, so this everyone is different has now become, no, they're not, because I'm going to copy them, right? The education and the time that you've put in here starts again, going to take you years, because say you've gone from a doctor or just a normal GP, and now you decided, I want to be a specific heart surgeon or a brain surgeon, new online course, mate, or new college or new uni, bang, right, so I've got to go and do that now. So what you've done is all this time has just been thrown in the bin, because you found something else that's a shiny object that 9 times out of 10 you don't need. I'm going to get onto this in later videos about prop funding, how we can use them, how we can use it to our advantage, and all this sort of stuff. But stick to that edge, man, because I'm telling you, once you've got it nailed and you've got your edge, you're laughing. I know so many people in this industry, right, good friends of mine, and we trade very different. And some months I'll make 20, 30 R, and they might make 10, and they do not ever go, Alb, can you sort me out, bruv, because I need more R. They're content, they're happy, and they're also grateful for that they've now this business that they've started is running well, right? And that's what you have to remember. If we go back to expectations. No, I drew on my desk. Oh, man. If we go back to expectations, right, if we remove all that, and if we just had a business, right, up here, most businesses in year one are break even, some loss. So if you're in your year one and trading journey and you're potentially at a break even or a loss, dude, you're doing all right. A lot of businesses don't even get that. They're in massive debt. I watch Dragon's Den a lot, and the amount of businesses that come on there and entrepreneurs that come on there, and they might have like sold their house or they're in massive debt, but they still believe in their business, and they might be 2-3 years in, and then all of a sudden the next year you hear about them and they're like, multi-million-pound deal signed, chilling. It's the same in trading. You'll take losses, and you have to be okay with that, right? You have to be okay with losing, and there is no such thing as perfection in trading at all. So if you've got that perfectionist mindset, bin it ASAP. See ya. What you need to remember is it's a process, it's a journey, it's going to take time, but ultimately the reward is huge. And if you've got a business plan on 5 years, let's just say, we'll write it here quickly. I want to wrap this up because I'm going over and I don't want to chew your ears off for too much longer. If we go, right, year one, let's say the aim is to get funded. Year two, I don't know, max funding. On the side, this is growing Percy, so your personal account. It's always worth doing with prop funds. Year three, I don't know, trading, you could say trading $1 million in capital, right? So that's with the funded and your personal. I'm going to draw on my desk if I go anywhere else, so let's go over here. Year four, you could say, I don't know, what do you want for year four? Let's say freedom. Yeah, year five, maybe you want your own community, or maybe you want to teach, educate. Depends. It can conflict with freedom to a degree if you're doing that, right? This is just rough, right? You need to really think on this stuff. And this isn't planned. I'll just turn the camera on like usual and I'm waffling away. The only reason I'm looking here sometimes is I'm looking at TradingView and I'm seeing stuff going on. So when you look at this, right, this is a 5-year plan and this is what you get to. If you look at any of the other businesses, 5 years, you're just getting qualified or you're getting whatever, right? It takes time. So understand the power of putting all these things together and lose this big old expectation. Don't be a fuckboy. We don't want that, right? You want to be a business. Okay? And like I say, if you want to be a hobby, fine. But you need to find out what do you need to do and what do you actually want from that hobby. And all of the stuff I've just spoken about essentially comes down to why. And this is huge. If you can identify your why, you can identify why you're trading, why you're doing this, why you're wanting to get into it, you'll have such an easier time. And if it's just money, I'm telling you now, you've got problems. Because overall, what I've began to realise is money doesn't essentially buy the happiness. I had all these figures in my head and these milestones to hit. And last year I was fortunate enough to hit a lot of them. And when I hit them, I was like, don't actually feel that great. When people speak about it, about the whole marching band and confetti that they thought they'd get when they achieve something and they don't get it. And they're like, well, what happened? And I think it's because we build up such a big picture in our head and it goes back to the expectation. Lose them, put them in the bin, move on. Money generates freedom, and freedom is what generates our happiness, because overall we want to spend as much time with our family, with our friends, with our kids, making memories, things that last a lifetime, and money does that. And there's no denying that. So you need to then go, and this could be on a later video, what do I need to achieve in trading to get freedom, to be happy? That is the ultimate equation that we're all kind of searching for. I'm going to end it there, guys. Appreciate you all staying to the end if you did. If you didn't, fair enough, I get it. 34 minutes is a long time. But if you could share this about with people and just hit the like button, I really want to keep getting the attraction on this channel and trying to grow. I've got a lot of good video ideas coming up, and it'd be a shame for people to not get them or miss them. I also understand I do chat sometimes a lot, so apologies, but I'm having fun, and that's what it's all about. So anyway, have an incredible week. I hope you all smash it. We're going into Q2 now. Massive Q2 ahead. Let's kill it, guys. Peace and love.